year is now worth 10 times more. In this video, we'll reveal 10 hidden gems that quietly exploded in value and why collectors are scrambling to find them again. The Walther P99 AS Final Edition. The Walther P99 was already a beloved pistol when the company announced its discontinuation. What few realized was how dramatically its value would increase after production ceased. The Final Edition models, released as a farewell to this iconic firearm, have nearly doubled in price since their initial release. Their limited availability and historical significance as one of the most influential handguns of the last 3 decades have created a perfect storm for collectors. Those who sold these pieces before 2025 are now facing prices nearly $300 higher than just a year ago. The P99 earned its legendary status not just through its reliable performance, but through its innovative design features. When first introduced in 1997, it pioneered the use of interchangeable back straps and a decocker button integrated into the slide, features now commonly found in modern handguns. The anti-stress trigger system, with its double-action/single-action mechanism, provided shooters with versatility that was unmatched at the time. This forward-thinking engineering made the P99 a favorite among law enforcement agencies across Europe and gained a devoted following among civilian enthusiasts. What makes the Final Edition particularly valuable is the meticulous attention to detail Walther applied to these farewell models. Each comes with special commemorative markings, enhanced trigger work, and a presentation case that documents the pistol's historical significance. The original production run sold out within weeks, and those who purchased these firearms purely as shooting pieces rather than collectibles often made the mistake of not preserving their pristine condition. A decision that has proven costly as collectors now seek untouched examples with their original documentation intact. The Smith & Wesson Model 356 TSW Limited. This specialized competition pistol was developed alongside the proprietary .356 TSW cartridge. When the round failed to gain popularity in shooting competitions, many owners offloaded these firearms without recognizing their future potential. Fast forward to 2025, and these rare pieces have become highly sought after by collectors precisely because of their limited production. The scarcity of both the firearm and its ammunition has driven prices to unexpected heights, making this one of the most regrettable sells for those who parted with them before recognizing their true value as collector's items. The story behind the 356 TSW is one of ambitious innovation that arrived perhaps too early for its time. Smith & Wesson developed this specialized round in the late 1990s, specifically to meet the power factors for competitive shooting, while offering superior ballistic performance compared to the 9mm cartridge. The firearm itself was built on their proven stainless steel frame with custom target features like adjustable sights, match-grade barrel, and enhanced trigger assembly. Though performance was outstanding, the shooting community's reluctance to adopt a proprietary cartridge ultimately led to its commercial failure. What collectors now appreciate is the historical significance of the 356 TSW as a fascinating what might have been chapter in firearms development. Only about 2,000 of these pistols were produced, with even fewer remaining in circulation today. The ammunition itself has become a collector's item, with original factory boxes commanding premium prices. Those with the foresight to keep both the firearm and a supply of its ammunition are now sitting on combinations worth several times their original value. The pistol represents a unique convergence of technical innovation, limited production, and historical significance. The perfect formula for extraordinary appreciation in the collector's market. The Colt single-action Army revolver. While always valuable, certain vintage peacemakers have seen extraordinary appreciation in 2025. Historical significance continues to drive demand for these iconic revolvers. particularly examples with verifiable provenance. The Peacemaker represents a crucial chapter in American firearms development, and as fewer pristine examples remain on the market, prices have climbed steadily. Anyone who sold a well-maintained Colt SAI in the past decade is now witnessing values climbing beyond what most would have predicted. The Colt single-action army has been described as the gun that won the West, and its cultural impact remains undiminished nearly 150 years after its introduction. First produced in 1873, these revolvers were carried by lawmen, outlaws, soldiers, and civilians alike during America's Western expansion. Their simple, rugged design and reliability in harsh conditions cemented their place in American firearms heritage. While production has continued with interruptions throughout the decades, the original vintage models from the 19th centuries have become the most coveted by serious collectors. What distinguishes the most valuable examples is a combination of condition, originality, and documented history. Revolvers with verified connections to historical figures or significant events can command extraordinary premiums. Even examples without famous provenance but with matching serial numbers, original finish, and factory grips have seen their values increase exponentially. Particularly sought after are first-generation models with factory engraving or rare barrel lengths. Those who sold their vintage Peacemakers in recent years, perhaps not fully appreciating the accelerating collector market, have watched as similar examples now command prices that would have seemed unimaginable just a decade ago. The Browning High Power. When production officially ended on the classic high-power design, many assumed the market would be saturated with these pistols for years to come. That assumption proved costly. The Browning High Power's status as one of the most influential 9mm handguns in history has only grown over time. As the originals become increasingly rare, particularly those with factory finishes still intact, values have climbed dramatically. The combination of historical significance, exceptional ergonomics, and production cessation has created intense demand among collectors willing to pay premium prices for this classic sidearm. The Browning High Power represents the final handgun design from legendary firearms innovator John Moses Browning, though it was completed by his protege, Dieudonné Sauer, after Browning's death. First produced in 1935, it quickly set new standards for military handguns with its revolutionary 13-round magazine capacity when most contemporaries offered only half that number. Its ergonomic design, reliability, and ease of maintenance led to its adoption by over 50 national militaries and countless police forces worldwide, making it one of the most widely used handguns of the 20th century. What makes certain high powers particularly valuable today are the distinctive variations that appeared throughout its long production history. Belgian-made examples from Fabrique Nationale command the highest prices, especially those with tangible military provenance from World War II or other significant conflicts. The T-Series models, produced for the British military, have become exceptionally desirable, as have examples with factory presentation cases and original accessories. Those who sold their high powers thinking they could easily acquire another similar example later have been surprised by how quickly the market has tightened, with premium examples now often selling for 3 to 4 times what they commanded just 5 years ago. The Winchester Model 1873 rifle, the gun that won the West, has always commanded respect, but certain examples have appreciated beyond all expectations. Particular variants with specific serial number ranges or unusual configurations have seen their values climb substantially in recent years. As fewer authentic examples in good condition remain available, prices have reached levels that would astonish anyone who sold these rifles even just a few years ago. The historical significance and craftsmanship of these lever-action rifles continue to attract both serious collectors and investors looking for tangible assets with proven appreciation. The Winchester Model 1873 marked a revolutionary advancement in firearms technology with its reliable lever-action design and centerfire cartridge. Innovations that provided users with unprecedented firepower and reliability for the era. From 1973 to 1924, Winchester produced over 720,000 of these rifles in various configurations, creating a rich field for collectors seeking specific variants. The rifle's prominent role in the American frontier experience, both in reality and as immortalized in countless Western films, has embedded it deeply in American cultural heritage. The most sought-after examples today include first-year production models, rifles with documented historical ownership, and those with special order features like engraving, non-standard barrel lengths, or rare calibers. Particularly valuable are examples retaining a high percentage of their original finish, and those with factory records confirming unique configurations. Even standard models in exceptional condition have seen their values climb steadily as knowledgeable collectors recognize that the supply of investment-grade examples is dwindling. Those who decided to liquidate their Winchester collections in recent years, perhaps underestimating the continued growth in the vintage arms market, have watched as comparable examples now sell for prices that would have seemed implausible just a decade ago. The Sig Sauer P226 Legion. The Legion series from Sig Sauer was always positioned as a premium product, but few anticipated how quickly these firearms would appreciate once certain configurations were discontinued. The P226 Legion models, particularly those with the gray PVD finish that prove somewhat delicate in daily use, have become highly sought after by collectors. As SIG has moved on to newer designs, these specialized variants have gained a dedicated following willing to pay significantly more than their original retail price, making them a source of seller's remorse for many. The P226 had already established itself as one of Sig Sauer's most successful handguns when the company introduced the Legion series in 2015. This premium line featured enhanced triggers, exclusive gray PVD finishes, custom G10 grips, and additional factory upgrades typically found only on custom pistols. The Legion concept extended beyond the firearm itself to create an exclusive community of owners who receive special branded accessories and access to limited edition products. This innovative marketing approach created an unprecedented level of brand loyalty and helped establish the Legion variants as the flagship of the Sig Sauer line. What has driven the rapid appreciation of the Legion P226 in particular is the combination of its compact size, premium features, and the subsequent discontinuation of certain configurations as SIG has continued to evolve its product line. The gray PVD finish, while visually distinctive, proves somewhat prone to wear with heavy use, making pristine examples increasingly difficult to find. As SIG has shifted its focus toward newer designs like the P320 series, the early Legion models have gained a nostalgic appeal among collectors who view them as representing the peak of the classic P-series design before the company's newer polymer offerings dominated their product line. Those who sold their Legion models after only brief ownership have watched with regret as similar examples now command prices 30 to 40% above their original retail cost. The high-standard Mark I nickel revolver. This relatively obscure revolver was only produced for a brief period, making it an under-the-radar collectible that many owners failed to recognize. With its distinctive 9-shot cylinder and polished nickel finish, the limited production run has made this revolver unexpectedly valuable. The combination of unique features, short manufacturing timeline, and relative obscurity created a perfect scenario for rapid appreciation once collectors became aware of its rarity. Those who sold these revolvers without understanding their potential have watched prices climb steadily year after year. High Standard Manufacturing Corporation had built its reputation primarily on quality, .22 caliber target pistols when they ventured into the revolver market in the 1960s. The Mark I represented their foray into the defensive handgun market, offering something genuinely different from the established Smith and Wesson and Colt revolvers that dominated at the time. Its most distinctive feature was the 9-shot cylinder in an era when 6 rounds was still the standard. The nickel-plated version, with its high-polish finish and walnut grips, was particularly striking and offered as a premium option during the brief 2 to 3 year production run before the model was discontinued. What makes these revolvers particularly valuable today is their unique position at the intersection of several collector interests. They appeal to those who specialize in high-standard firearms, enthusiasts of unusual revolver designs, and collectors focusing on limited production American firearms from the mid-20th century. Their brief production period and relative commercial obscurity meant that many were used heavily without appreciation for their future collectible status. Consequently, examples that have survived in excellent condition with their original finish intact have become increasingly difficult to find. Those who sold these revolvers for modest sums in recent decades, perhaps viewing them merely as outdated defensive weapons rather than historically significant collectibles, have seen comparable examples now selling for 5 to 8 times what they commanded just 15 years ago. The Ruger SR 1911 Street Edition series. When Ruger released their limited 75th anniversary commemorative models in the Street Edition series, many buyers saw them as merely decorative collector's items. Limited to just 500 of each variant, these specially engraved 1911 pistols celebrating Ruger's manufacturing heritage quickly sold out. By 2025, their values had appreciated substantially, with sealed examples commanding prices well above their initial retail cost. Those who sold them shortly after purchase, viewing them as just another commemorative piece, missed out on significant appreciation. Ruger's decision to create the Street Edition series to commemorate their 75th anniversary represented a thoughtful tribute to the company's manufacturing history. Each variant in the series was dedicated to one of Ruger's major production facilities, with engravings that included the street address where the company's manufacturing legacy began. The 75 Station Street model, representing the company's original location, featured the 75th anniversary logo and became particularly sought after. Built on the Commander-style frame with a 4.25-inch barrel in .45 ACP, these pistols combine practical functionality with commemorative significance. What distinguished these pistols from typical commemorative firearms was their exceptional execution and genuine historical significance. While many commemorative guns feel contrived or overly commercial, the Street Edition series represented a meaningful chapter in one of America's most successful firearms manufacturers' history. The limited production of just 500 of each variant ensured exclusivity, while the quality of the engraving and overall execution elevated them above typical limited editions. Those who purchase these pistols as investments and maintain them in unfired, factory-sealed condition have seen their values increase by 50 to 70% in just a few years. Remarkable appreciation for modern production firearms. Many who sold their examples shortly after the initial excitement faded, perhaps not recognizing their long-term potential, now find themselves unable to replace them without paying substantial premiums. The limited edition Cabot 1911 Gatsby Edition. Cabot Guns has built a reputation for creating some of the most exquisite 1911 pistols on the market, but few predicted how rapidly their limited editions would appreciate. The Gatsby Edition, with its Art Deco styling and meticulous craftsmanship, represented more than just a firearm. It was an investment-grade collectible that many failed to recognize at the time. As fewer examples remain available on the secondary market, prices have climbed dramatically, with serious collectors willing to pay multiples of the original price to add one to their collection. Cabot Guns emerged in the premium firearms market with an uncompromising approach to quality and precision. Their 1911 pistols are manufactured to tolerances that exceed aerospace standards, with each component meticulously crafted from solid blocks of steel, rather than castings or forgings. The Gatsby edition exemplified this philosophy while adding artistic elements inspired by the opulent aesthetics of the 1920s Art Deco movement. From the hand-engraved slide featuring geometric patterns reminiscent of the era, to the jewel-like controls with their distinctive blue finish, every aspect reflected the luxury and extravagance associated with F. Scott Fitzgerald's iconic character. The extraordinary appreciation of the Gatsby edition stems from several converging factors. First, as one of Cabot's earlier limited editions, it was produced in extremely small numbers before the company achieved its current prominence. Second, the Art Deco theme struck a chord with collectors who appreciated the tasteful execution that avoided the gaudiness sometimes found in commemorative firearms. Third, as Cabot's reputation for exceptional quality has grown, earlier examples of their work have gained additional prestige. Those who purchased these pistols when first released, often for around $15,000, have seen their investments appreciate to where similar examples now command $25,000 to $30,000 or more on the rare occasions they appear for sale. Owners who decided to sell their Gatsby pistols prematurely, perhaps balking at the high initial investment or not recognizing their trajectory as investment-grade collectibles, now find themselves priced out of the market should they wish to reacquire one. The Barrett Squad Support Rifle System. This specialized tactical rifle represented cutting-edge military technology when first introduced, but many civilian buyers failed to recognize its long-term collectible potential. As newer designs have superseded it in active service, the original SSRS models have become increasingly sought after by collectors interested in military firearms development. The combination of innovative engineering, limited civilian availability, and historical significance has driven values upward, creating significant regret for those who parted with these rifles before their appreciation became apparent. The Barrett Squad Support Rifle System emerged from the company's expertise in large-caliber firearms, applying their engineering prowess to create a revolutionary support weapon that could deliver sustained, accurate fire in tactical situations. Developed primarily for military applications, the SSRS featured an innovative long-recoil operating system, quick-change barrel capability, and feed system designed for reliable operation in adverse conditions. While its weight and specialized role meant it didn't achieve the widespread adoption of Barrett's iconic .50 caliber rifles, the SSRS represented an important evolutionary step in modern tactical firearms design and earned a dedicated following among specialists who appreciated its unique capabilities. There you have it, 10 firearms that have proven to be unexpected investments, surprising even seasoned collectors with their remarkable appreciation. While hindsight is 20/20, the lesson remains clear. Sometimes the most valuable pieces in a collection aren't the obvious choices, but rather the overlooked gems that history eventually recognizes for their true significance. Whether driven by historical importance, limited production, innovative design, or simply the passionate devotion of dedicated collectors, these firearms remind us that value often lies where conventional wisdom fails to look. For collectors and enthusiasts alike, the stories of these 10 firearms offer both cautionary tales and inspiration for more thoughtful acquisition strategies in the future. If you enjoyed this exploration of valuable firearms that slipped through collectors' fingers, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth content about firearms history, collecting, and investment opportunities. Your support helps us continue bringing you quality content about the firearms we all appreciate.